Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you've watched any of my other videos, you've probably noticed that I really love learning and talking about productivity. I've been studying productivity for years and have come across tons of different frameworks, methodologies, and techniques for staying productive. With so many different options to choose from, it can be difficult to decide which productivity method or methods to use in your own life. I personally have a few favorites that I use in my daily life, and when a new methodology pops up, I will think carefully about how it might fit into my existing workflow and give it a test run to see if it works for me. If it doesn't, then no harm done, at least I tried. In the spirit of trying new things, I'm going to share with you today 2 different 2-minute rules that you can choose to implement in your own daily workflow, if you feel it will be helpful. Before we get started, if you could take a second to like this video and subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it. I'm Sara Stilleke. I'm a scientist, and my channel is all about how to level up to become more productive and successful. The first 2-minute rule that I'm going to talk about today comes from one of my favorite productivity books of all time, Getting Things Done by David Allen. If you haven't read this book, I strongly recommend it. It basically lays out an extremely detailed yet flexible framework that you can use to organize your personal and professional workflow to get more things done with less conscious effort. One of my key takeaways from this book was David Allen's 2-minute rule. This 2-minute rule is simple. If something takes less than 2 minutes to do, you should complete that task right now. The rationale for 2 minutes is that in the time it would take you to think through the task that needs to be accomplished, write it in your to-do list, or schedule a time to do it, the task could have already been completed. So you should just get it done when you first think about it. I've found this simple rule to be pretty effective in my own life, and it is one of the ones I've already implemented into my daily routine. I do find that by doing the tasks that take less than 2 minutes when they first pop up, it prevents my to-do list from becoming overrun with tons of little things. Completing small tasks also helps me feel motivated, that I'm making progress toward my goals. This little burst of motivation can often help me get out of a productivity rut and help me stop procrastinating and get back on track during the day. Examples of some tasks that can take less than 2 minutes are things like checking the mail, emptying the dishwasher, scheduling a dentist appointment, taking out the trash, sending a quick check-in email to your coworkers or clients, and feeding the cats. If you haven't tried David Allen's version of the 2-minute rule before, I would highly encourage you to give it a try, as it fits very well with the other productivity routines and methodologies that you may already be using. The second 2-minute rule I want to share with you today comes from James Clear's blockbuster book, Atomic Habits. Despite having the same name, this version of the 2-minute rule is actually completely different from the last one we just discussed. In James Clear's 2-minute rule, he says that when you're trying to build a new habit, you should limit yourself to only taking the new actions associated with that habit for a maximum of 2 minutes. The rationale behind that is that sometimes we dive in head first when attempting to start a new habit or establish a new routine, and end up feeling overwhelmed and burnt out. This 2-minute rule focuses on the importance of establishing the habit of just showing up. By committing to engage with your habit for only 2 minutes each time, you will get in the habit of just showing up to do the habit, and will avoid the feeling of overwhelm and dread that can often come with starting something new. Once the new habit is established, you can slowly increase the time you spend on it until the full habit is in place in your life. As an example of this, let's take somebody who wants to start a new habit of working out, but who is currently living a sedentary lifestyle. If that person immediately started going to the gym for 1 hour 5 times a week, they would likely get quickly burnt out, feel overwhelmed and disappointed, and soon abandon the new habit altogether. If instead the same person committed to walking outside for 2 minutes every day, they would find that to be much more manageable. Then, after 2 minutes of walking, it will become easier and more attractive over time to spend more than 2 minutes walking until they have formed a habit of exercise. Unlike the first 2-minute rule that we discussed, this is one I actually have yet to implement fully in my own life, though I absolutely see the value in it and do plan on using this technique to help me build new routines. I am definitely somebody who likes to fully commit to something, and I do tend to get overwhelmed and burnt out when this happens. I recognize that this 2-minute rule runs completely opposite to how I normally operate, and so it might just be perfect for me. I'll make another video soon updating you guys on how that goes. And those are the 2 different 2-minute rules. The first is to finish tasks that take less than 2 minutes as soon as you think of them. The second is to limit yourself to spending only 2 minutes on a new habit or routine until it becomes habitual. Let me know in the comments if you've ever tried either of these 2-minute rules, or if you're planning on trying one or both of them for yourself. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. If you could take a moment to subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.